Hey guys, what's up, man? This is the Bo. How y'all doing? Good morning. This morning, I'm working. This is a brand new bed um, that I put together not too long ago, and it's just full of life, new life. I'm transplanting a whole bunch of my plants, some cabbages and some curly kale. So I'm transplanting them over to this bed here now so they can take up a lot of this new life that's into the soil here. It's just full of this soil here. It's just full of life. It's compost that I've been, you know, making on my property since, you know, late fall last season. So now, so it's been sitting there for a while. So now this is full of life. I also added some leaf mold here. It has some ash, has a bunch of leaves that are just broken down. So it has some old and some new. But the great thing about this here is now that I can transplant all these plants here. They can take up all the nutrients here in this new soil, while I can go and amend my other beds that I have transplanted these from. So I'm moving things around so that I can get most of my beds amended. So that's what I'm doing this morning. So come along. Even though this soil is in top shape now, I'm gonna add some nitrogen in here since these are leafy green type plants here. So just give them that extra little boost. This soil here is so good with all these leaf mold that worms are moving in here like crazy already. Gardening must be the most addictive hobby. Um, I just can't get enough of gardening. I sleep, I sleep and wake up ready to come to the garden. This is my passion. I just love it so much. So I'm putting these plants here a little tight, right? But that's okay. They're all gonna grow. They're all gonna grow nice, and I'm gonna, be picking these quite often, so it won't get as much up as you might think. These are my plants that I'm going to enjoy throughout the winter, and come spring, I'll still be enjoying them. I have a lot of plants in the grow room that are just waiting to come out to the garden, and it won't be long before spring is upon us, and we get going. right, guys, so this is some of the amendments that I'm going to be adding to my new garden bed that I'm doing. That garden bed is just going to be for eggplants. All different types of eggplants. The ones I like, I love eggplants. I like making things with them, and I love bringing them down to the church and sharing them with the folk down there. They love the eggplants. So let me show you here. All right, trust and believe. When I started mowing these leaves down, now what I have in here, the mix that's involved in here, right? You got your pine needles, you got leaves of all sort, you have grass clippings, and you have some of the native soil that mixes up in there. And you know, that brings in all kinds of bio-life, and the circle of the web life of soil is all in there. It's incorporated within your native soil. So anyway, let me show you something. This is how you want, right? Once you have your garden beds already done, you already, you know, you bought your topsoils and your cow manures and all that stuff the previous year, and your garden beds are done. You don't need to. I believe you don't need to continue buying those things, right? Now that you have your garden beds all done, all you need to do is continuously add your own compost that you do on your property in leaf mode, right? Now, you know, I don't know the myth, you know, they say about the pine needles and all that stuff. I mix every single thing in there, and I've never ever had a problem with, you know, your soil not being right because you got pine needles in it. Once the worms go in there and start doing their thing, baby, everything is neutral. So anyway, you want to pass your leaves, right, several times, right, through your lawnmower. Don't even put your lawnmower bag on. Just leave it there and just keep going over them and rake them up in a pile again and keep going over them until you get them down to like almost powder, right? Now, when you add that to your soil in there, I'm telling you, everything moves in, man. It's a party up in that soil. So, you have so many worms and the bio-life in there that you don't need to add anything else, you know? I was adding some nitrogen to my leafy greens earlier in there just to give them a quick boost, you know what I mean? Because I have let my chickens go over there and they eat a lot of the tops off of them, but I'm not going to let them over there anymore. I need my leafy greens, baby. So, anyway, that's what you want to add to your new garden beds or your assistant garden beds and stuff, and that will feed your soil life, which will in turn feed your plants later on. So that's just a tip, baby. All right, so we're back here at the bed now, and so I'm going to go ahead and amend this soil with a whole bunch of leaves clipped up through the lawnmower, grass clippings, all that kind of stuff is all mixed up in this, including native soil. So this will puff, this will make this soil nice and soft, right? All right, we're gonna do another bag on this side over here. All right, I'm back with a pitchfork that'll be much better for this here. Now I'm going to add some compost from the garden. All right, the bull got his cart now. No more back breaking. All right, I couldn't get a real big one because they didn't, they didn't have one there, and I didn't want to wait. So this was the biggest one they had, 7 cubic. So, but it's nice. And look who's going for a ride if you look inside the cart. Nadia, huh? Take you for a ride around the park, baby? Let's go see your land, baby.